All right, we're joined here with Coach Steve Hawkins after Western's practiced here on Friday afternoon. Coach, first off, thanks for giving us the time to talk with you. Your team wrapped up the non-conference play last night with Siena Heights, a 36-point victory, and now 7-5 on the season. Up to this point so far, what has been the most impressive thing about this team?
I think the most impressive thing has been their chemistry again. We've got a bunch of great kids that are happy. They're happy players here. They're happy student athletes here, and they get along very well with each other. And so the chemistry has been impressive. Also, I think if that's number one, then 1A has been the fact that we have some holes right now, and the kids have worked incredibly hard to fill up those holes, whether it be offensively or defensively. They're working really hard to improve the weaknesses that we've pointed out to them. So I guess in short, it would all point to being very coachable. If we were to put one word out there, it would be coachable.
Only having two seniors on the team, Shane Whittington and David Brown, how have they kind of taken over as leaders of this team?
I think both of them have, maybe David more so than Shane. It's easier for guards to do that because they have the ball in their hands so much. But I think that both of them have done very well with the leadership role and fallen into it naturally. With Brandon Pokley and Loney and Hutch, those guys graduating last year, some of those guys were natural leaders, in particular somebody like Danny Loney. I was as concerned about losing Danny as I was anybody else. And so David's leadership and Shane's leadership, David with the guards, Shane with the bigs, I think has been really big and very important for us.
The last two games, you've really been able to use the bench a lot more than in the first handful of games. Talk about the progression you've seen from the bench from day one of practice to where they are now.
It's been better. It's improving. It's still very much a work in progress, which is a nice way of saying we've been inconsistent. We've got to get better at it. We're getting more and more production at a little bit more consistent basis, but we're not there yet. And that's our goal, is to try and get our bench completely up to speed. Right now it's putting a ton of pressure on our starters, and in particular the core players that have been producing, especially offensively for us. A lot of the guys that come off the bench can do some nice things for us defensively. A couple of the guys can do some nice things for us offensively, but to get all of them to do it all at the same time, we're not there yet. And that's going to be very important, so that when they do check into the game, that they're not one-dimensional players.
It's a philosophy of a lot of coaches that a player will not lose their starting spot because of an injury. But right now, Taylor Perry, the 4 games that he started in place of Tucker, he's played very well. When Tucker is ready to come back, will he instantly be inserted back into the starting lineup, or will it kind of be a wait and see if he can get himself reinserted into the lineup?
No, he will not be. He'll have to earn it. That theory or strategy that you talked about you can't lose your job because of an injury, normally goes to professional sports, and those guys are paid. And when those guys get paid, the organizations have invested a lot of money in those guys to be starters. So when they lose their job due to an injury, when they come back, they're still paid for the reason they were brought in there for. We've got college student athletes, and when these guys, when something happens, it's an opportunity for somebody else to step up and play. Now, having said that, Tucker earned the starting job in the first place, so he has every opportunity to earn it. He already did it once. He already beat out the other guys once. So can he beat him out again? He'll have that opportunity, just as Taylor and Charles have the opportunity at the 3 spot to earn and to keep playing time themselves.
Wednesday is going to mark the start of MAC play. Toledo Rockets will be here at University Arena, and personally, I can't think of a better team to really start off the season with. Right now, they have the best record in the MAC, picked to win the MAC West. what does your team have to do to come away Wednesday night 1-0 to start MAC play?
It's still very much, I mean, in terms of a scouting report and a game strategy, it's very much. I watched them for the first time last night after the game against Siena Heights. So I went back home and watched our game on film against Siena Heights, and then I watched 2 of Toledo's films as well as both of our games that we played against Toledo last year. And so just starting to formulate game strategy at this point, and because we're afforded that, we don't play them until next Wednesday. So today's practice, tomorrow's practice is about improving us. We'll take Sunday off, and then we'll have the strategy for the game and the game plan completely put together by Monday's practice, and then we'll be on a normal 2-day game prep where we'll get ready on Monday and Tuesday for the game Wednesday night. They have great talent. I do know that. That was easy to see last night. A couple of transfers that have become eligible for them, and the kids, a good core back from last year, with Ryan Pearson and Julius Brown and Nathan Booth, all of those guys are, and then Matt Smith. They've got some guys back that were very talented off of a good team last year. And then they added a couple of really nice pieces, like I said, in the form of transfers, as well as a freshman or 2. So they're an extremely, extremely talented group that puts up a lot of points. So I know what I can say safely is that our defense is going to be very, very stretched and is going to be tested in about every way a defense can be tested because of their ability to score at all 5 spots.